Vanderbilt women's basketball head coach Shea Ralphs. Coach, you get ready for another 2-game week as you're on the road at Mississippi State and going to Newark, New Jersey for the Coretta Scott King Classic to take on Michigan. How are you getting ready for another week of basketball?
Same way we always get ready, one day at a time. This week is a little different because we play on Monday instead of Sunday, but we'll see that in our league a couple times as well. So I like playing this conference game on Thursday against a tough team on the road and then turn around and playing a really tough team again on the road outside of our conference. This is what it feels like to be in the NCAA tournament. And I think that we're ready to have this kind of competition in January outside of our conference. So I'm excited about the opportunity, not only for our team to compete, but also to be doing it on Martin Luther King Jr. Day with so many great things that we're going to learn and be able to represent on the basketball court.
Just given that you guys are playing on Thursday on the road, how nice is to have that extra day of travel with y'all playing away on Mondays?
Yeah, it's huge, right? So I just told my team in film, I try not to get caught up in the things that we can't control. I don't control how our schedule is laid out. And we have conversations every year in our meetings. We have, I think, 5 of our next 6 games are on the road, but I'm not talking about that. It doesn't matter to me. We have to play really well wherever we are, at home, on the road. When we get into March, lots of our games are going to be on the road that are really important. So we have to make sure that we stay focused on the task at hand, continue getting better. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that I love having that extra day on Friday before we have to turn around and get back out on the road.
Texas A&M game yesterday, I was looking forward to asking you about this. You challenged a call and got overturned. I'm just curious, given certain instances and scenarios and stuff, how much do you value that? And also, when do you decide to use a challenge as far as, the time of the game, things of that nature? Just when do you decide to bring that call?
Yeah, it was our first one. We were very excited. We have a whole system on our bench on what we're going to challenge, when, how, and why. And I am, I think if we have a different philosophy depending on the time and score of the game, the things that, we're trying to accomplish. I don't want to challenge a call unless I know that it can be overturned. So we have the data and analytics behind us, and my staff a lot of times have been like, so I have a couple seconds. I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. I don't want to lose a timeout. But if we're sure, then it's something that I think we feel really good about doing. And they were all positive about it, and I was happy with the result of that challenge. I thought it was a really good one too because we got 2 free throws out of it. So
there's been some talk in the SEC lately about the conference's scheduling, and you all are in a stretch where you don't have a home game for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How do you kind of feel about that scheduling and what it means for your team?
Yeah, I think the SEC has a hard job, right? I think we all want the perfect schedule, and we're not all going to get it. I think that just means that we write down the things that, are concerning from year to year, and then we bring them to the meetings in May, and hopefully we can come up with a better solution for the following year. And that's just going to be what it is. I do love that we play 16 conference games. I don't want to go to 18. I think that's the perfect number of games. So as long as we can continue to work within our conference leadership, who I know wants to set our conference up for success, and amongst us coaches to bring to the table, hey, these are the things that were really sucked for us this year, things that we think need to be fixed, then I think that, every year it'll get better. But, I think all of us are going to have something that we don't like within our schedule. And for me, what I've learned, because, I worked for someone who the schedule is really important to him, but also we're just going to look at whatever we don't like as a challenge because we can't change it. So it is what it is. And I love the way that my team is preparing right now. We stick to our schedule. So whether we're home or away, it's the same thing every day. And that just has to be how we operate.
Mississippi State's coming off a tough loss against Ole Miss. I know they're going to be looking for a win. What challenges do they present?
They're a very formidable SEC team, extremely athletic, extremely good defensively, extremely good on the backboard. We're on their home court. And, they come off a tough game, but they're very good. They have great players. Sam has done a great job with the program. So, and I think they've lost, 3 games maybe? So they're another great team in our conference, just like probably every team that we're going to face this year. So we really try to go in and focus on what are their tendencies, how do they like to play, but nothing really changes for us.
You had a couple of games where Michaela has gotten off to a slow start, but finished strong, and that seems to be the strategy of the teams to try and stop her, but proving that that's not a very good plan.
Yeah.
Talk about that depth and how y'all have gotten through those slow moments?
Yeah, I think it's been a point of intention for us this year. We knew, everybody knows what they're going to try to do with Michaela. Everybody thinks that Michaela, it's the Michaela Blake show. I think most people are, well, if we shut them down or shut her down, then we can shut them down. And what I love about my team is that we are the complete team, in that on any given night, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different players that step up and fill the gap for the moments where she doesn't get a touch, or she has a couple of minutes where she doesn't make a shot. Michaela Blake is our best player, and she's generational. And I will say it every time y'all come talk to me, because she's so special. But our team is very special, and they understand their value and their role. And whenever one person, whether it's Michaela or not, is having a night where they're not their best, the other kids are going to step up, because that's what we've been doing all year. And I know that will continue.
Coach, let's talk about freshman off the job, and just for her ability to come in due to the whole thing at the SEC level, and she's leading the team in Bennett so far. And you talk about her ability on the court, how she just seems to, carry such a load well.
Yeah, she is. She's just a kid that loves to play. So one of the great things about Aubrey is nothing really gets under her skin. Half the time, I think she's up in the clouds thinking about something. I don't know, thinking about something else. I'd be like, Aubrey, come back. Are you with me? She's like, yeah, I'm good. And she doesn't get tired. She loves to play basketball. She is unbothered is probably the best word. She's unbothered. So she's just going to get out there, and if something happens that she doesn't like, she's going to learn from it, but you're not going to see it in her body language, on her face, unless usually I take her out. She don't like that. But she's a kid that just loves to play. She studies the game, and you're seeing how much confidence she has in herself too, and how much confidence our team has in her. I kid you. I mean, everybody told her she was too small to play in this league. She's playing with a vendetta out there. Yeah, in recruiting, that was like the thing. She's too small. She's too small to play in the SEC. She's not strong enough. But I think people are quickly finding out that that's not true. And we knew that when we brought her here.
Something that Kim Mulkey said when you played LSU was how Michaela Blake doesn't ever get tired. I mean, she plays a lot of minutes. Aubrey plays a lot of minutes. What's been the key to kind of keeping your team conditioned to be able to play that kind of load and still be able to finish games?
Yeah, we have an amazing strength coach, amazing nutrition staff. My athletic trainer is the best in the country. I mean, we have a really good staff. And I think we've figured a great formula out for those players, but also for our team that seems to be working really well. I also think that's a mentality. So you have the science and the data and all the things and resources, which we do have, but there's also a mentality of like great players where like, no, I'm not getting tired. I'm not going to get tired, because that separates good and great from elite. And that's true. So there is this mentality that exists, especially in Michaela and Aubrey, where, they're picking up full court, they're pressing, they don't want to come out of the game. I get questions a lot of the time, like, do you want to give a rest? I do, but they don't like it. They don't want to come out. So it's my job to make sure that they rest and recover, and it's their job to make sure that they take care of their bodies and minds so that they can come out ready to play 40 minutes every night.
How does it make you feel to have a team that's so deep, like anybody could have behind, like Sunday, Justine, just small?
Yeah.
To see her, I just kept saying to myself, it's just
Yeah.
for her to just do the way she did Sunday. What does that say to the work ethic and how everyone has worked together as a unit?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we can spread this thing out here, and it's not just one or two.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of being part of something that's bigger than yourself. And if you think of it, and we're talking about our basketball team right now, but if you think of it as bigger than that, like in a great business or in a family, it's not always going to be your night, or you're going to have to do something, or have to make a sacrifice. Some days you're going to have to show up when you don't feel like it, but you got to show up and do your job for the greater good so that you can push the group forward. And what I love about my team is that they want to be great, but they understand that we're better together. Does that make sense? So they're all working on their games, ready for their moment, when and if it shows up. And they're taking advantage of that. They're encouraging each other during the times where, a teammate is struggling, which in turn, that will happen for them. That's what a true team does. And the goal in that locker room is to win, period. From the top of the roster and the starters all the way down to the kids who don't get a lot of minutes. The goal is to do whatever it takes for this team to win, and they've all fully bought into it. And I see you're seeing the results now with the schedule that we're playing and the way that we're performing.
Playing in New Jersey on Monday, and you've got Michaela and Justine being from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Is that a motivation in choosing to play in this event? And what does it mean for them to be able to come and play a game in front of their families and friends from their hometown?
Yeah, it was, well, first of all, we were invited to play in the event, which was really cool. Just another step in the program and idea of how much better we're getting, right? We're getting invited to these events that are going to be on TV, national televised, top 15 matchup, top 10 matchup. And for those two, anytime you can play at home in front of your fans, your family, your people, and represent, who got you to this point is a special time. So we try to do that in our scheduling. This one just popped up and was perfect for those two because we can get them both home. It's on national television. It's a big game. We're doing lots of fun stuff in New York City, and our families get to be part of it. So I feel like usually those things happen for a reason. So I'm excited to go down there with those two and see the kind of support that Vanderbilt's going to have.
Last couple of questions.
I know you still have Mississippi State in front of you, but how much have you seen from Michigan, and how do you feel the style is different between the SEC and the Big Ten?
I definitely feel the style is different. But I think Michigan is really good. And I mean, if you watch them, they're tough. Every game that I've seen them play, I feel like they're getting better. They have scoring threats all over the floor. Obviously, I think the styles of play in the SEC and the Big Ten are different, but I don't think that matters in this game. And it's a great idea for us, like, okay, we're in our conference right now, but when we get to March, that will be different. We'll be playing different teams from different power conferences. I just love the opportunity for us to do that right now in January and see where we are.
Last couple of years has kind of been like a lower start. How important is that as we get deeper into the season and heading towards tournament time, is it to kind of clean it up and get out to a quicker start?
Yeah, I mean, I ideally would love to play, and I think I said this the other day, I would love to play perfect from start to finish and, make all of our shots and get stops every time down the floor. I don't really worry about it unless I see our energy and effort in a place that I don't think is helpful. If we're just missing shots, we're not communicating on defense, we're not rebounding, we're not making effort plays or good decisions, where our energy is low, that makes me mad, and that can't happen. I don't think that was necessarily the case. I think we were slow defensively a little bit, but they picked up. We were getting open shots. We weren't making them. I felt like Jada and Ayanna Mitchell came in and brought that defensive spark that we really needed to get the game going, and then everyone else, elevated to their level of effort. So those are the things that I worry about. I don't always worry about, hey, we're getting open shots, we're missing them, we haven't scored in a couple minutes. As long as we're getting the shots, as long as the things that we talked about we wanted to do, we're doing, then I know that at some point, the game will start flowing in the tempo that we want to play.
You talked about the younger players, Michaela and Aubrey. Talk about Justine just a minute and the leadership she brings, the stability that she brings to your team.
Yeah, Justine, I'm just really proud of her. And it's only January, but she's been through a lot here on and off the basketball court. She really, she came here when we weren't the popular place to come to out of the portal, and really committed to what we were doing for her, what we had to offer her, and has just put a ton of work in on herself. But she's also, I think what gives her validity in the locker room is that people have seen that she's gone through all that and seen that she's done those things. So when she speaks to players who may be going through something, whether it's a day, a week, or year, right, struggling, then they know that she's been there and can help them because they did the same thing for her. So that's kind of stuff you can't really orchestrate. You either have it or you don't. And what's cool about Justine is she's been in the trenches, and now she's been able to get herself out, and she's playing the best basketball, I think, of her career. And we certainly wouldn't be where we are, not on the court or in the locker room, without her.